So please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. TJ Hoisington.
Thank you. I want you quickly in this beautiful sunny part of California, I want you to think of a goal that you have, one that you would like to accomplish in the near future, possibly the next 12 months. And I want you to think about a real goal that excites you, that when you think about it, you get energized. I want you to get that image in your mind, and I want you, with power and conviction, repeat after me, and everyone say, it's possible. It's possible. All right, it is possible, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Lose your fears and win your life. How many of you can run a marathon? Absolutely. How many of you can sing? All right, let's do that right now. Let's get out of our comfort zone right now. Let's sing. This is going to be getting out of my own comfort zone, so support me here, okay? We're going to sing. I'm going to start a song, and it should be a song that you all know, and I just want you to join me, if you will. Okay, you ready? We're going to put it to test. We are going to take the principles that we've learned all day today, and we're going to take action on them, because nothing happens until you take action. So help me out. You ready? Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Give yourself a hand. That's awesome. Woo. Here's my real question then. What results have come into your life as a result of this little shift in your attitude, little shift in your behavior? You know what he told me? He goes, that's interesting that you would ask that. He says, I've been voted the last 2 years as the most valuable person of our airlines. That is the slight edge, my friends. When you push yourself a little bit more, when you're willing to give more than you receive. I think to myself, TJ, you are a man of discipline. One bite. I look at the donut, rocky music is playing on the radio, and I do what everyone else in this room would have done. I opened my mouth as big as I could, and I shoved that whole donut in. And in one bite, that donut was gone. Like I said, human beings are more rationalizing than they are rational. We do that all the time. We play tricks on ourselves, in our minds, in our thinking, that may actually be taking us away from the results that we ultimately want. That's law number one. Master your thinking. Control the thinking, take charge of it, instead of it taking charge and control over you. Debbie Ford, I think, said it succinctly and one of the best. Debbie Ford, who wrote The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, said this in that book. She says, if you see greatness in someone else, then it is your greatness that you are seeing. Because if you didn't have the greatness within, you wouldn't be able to recognize that quality in someone else. We live in a culture that wants to go from planting the seed to jumping to the harvest. You hear what I'm saying? And we're forgetting that middle part, which is cultivation. It's the law of the harvest. You plant the seed, you reap what you sow through planting the seed, cultivating the seed, and then harvesting. You want to make sure that you don't miss one of those crucial laws that will lead to success. You can't skip. You can't skip the sun. You can't skip the water. You can't skip, my friends, the nourishment. You are hardwired to grow, to become more. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. How does a high achiever think? Very simple. A high achiever believes that they can do it. A high achiever believes that they're capable to do anything, to go anywhere, to be anything they want to be. They take 100% responsibility for every aspect of their life. They have a can-do attitude. They don't focus on why things can't be done. They focus on why things can be done. And then they creatively maneuver to find out a way to make that a reality. Those that are successful think like a high achiever in that they will adapt, they will adjust, they will reflect on where they've come from and how they're performing today. And if it's not working, they will change. I call it an AOS. Achievers Operating System. You know, with your mobile devices, your tablets, your computer at home, that every once in a while you must upgrade that operating system, right? Here's the reality. You've got to regularly upgrade that operating system that's inside your head. Demand more from yourself than you currently do. Work a little harder, stretch a little more. This is the secret of the slight edge. Giving 2% more than you currently are doing will have a compounding effect over time. Push yourself a little harder. Lift a little bit more muscle than you currently lift. Michael Jordan was a great example of this. He lived by 3 rules. Number 1, know the fundamentals, personal development. Number 2, never take shortcuts. By the way, why does Wendy's have square hamburgers? The buns are round, but the hamburger is square. If you read his biography, you'll know why. Here's why. It was symbolic. Wendy's doesn't take shortcuts. Successful organization. You may not eat that food, but successful organization nonetheless. A number of years ago, there was a snowstorm. It was a severe snowstorm in Utah. It drove all the deer that were in the higher country down to the lower area. There were a lot of fences down in the lower area, and it was a severe snowstorm. So capable, well-meaning people gathered as much hay as they could to put it down there where they could be warm and they could eat some food and hopefully be protected from this severe snowstorm. It's the best they could do under the circumstances. Unfortunately, when the storm surpassed, many of those deer passed away. They were concerned. When they did the autopsy, you know what they noticed? That all the deer's stomachs were full of hay, but that they had starved to death. In other words, my friends, they were fed, but they weren't nourished. My hope today, in the few minutes that I have, that I've been entrusted to have humbly, to spend just a minute or two with you and remind you of your greatness that you already have within. I can't give you your greatness. You don't have to ask for it. You already have it. For 99% of everyone out there, it's a matter of discovering what you already have. And I hope in the few minutes that we're sharing together that I could speak to your heart, that I can nourish your soul. What are your strengths? What are your talents? Make sure that you carve out a role in your world and in your business that draws on those strengths, and then spend 80% of your time employing those strengths. Lou and Jim picked up the rails to that helicopter and, quote, unquote, they heaved it off the edge of the cliff. Imagine if you were that man with the broken leg laying there in the helicopter. Wait a minute. Imagine if you were the pilot. He said they went off into the horizon safely toward the hospital. Later, Hap Klopp was having dinner with Jim Whittaker. Hap Klopp asked him, was it really true? He said, absolutely. He said, how did you know that that would work, throwing the helicopter off? You know what Jim Whittaker turned back and said, and it's something we can all learn from. He said, how did you know? He said, sometimes you just know. Sometimes you just know. Here's the, yes, thank you. The last law as we wrap up, and that is the secret of the slight edge.